Alright, we're back on the action, ladies and gentlemen. FindYourFX.com and Bulletproof Traders. Today on the menu, Forex market trade of the day and Forex market portfolio breakdown is going to be super interesting. Let's go right ahead and dive in. We're going to start with the Forex trade of the day, silver. This is a familiar case because we've been following up on the silver for the past couple of weeks, and we were very active as well. We took a beautiful short position right off the top, and I was right here talking about it, calling it out. As price action was turning around, we fired off a bearish campaign, and we got more and more aggressive. The more price action was sliding downwards. At some point it was starting to break below 31.08, and that gave us that confidence to keep increasing our position size. Eventually, we had 4 trades closing the distance to the targets, right? We were working with 2 targets. The first one was 30.10. The second one and final destination was 29.5. At the same day, we knocked off both of these targets, right? So at 30.10, we took out like 75% of the position, and we left 25% to chase the final destination, which was 29.50, and at that same day we took that one as well. So at that point, obviously, we closed out that bearish campaign. We terminated that short position, and we took the back seat. And I felt like this may be coming interesting again a little bit later down the road, because I thought maybe we're going to have here an upside reversal. If those 2 levels, and I'm talking about 29.50 and 29.22, you see these 2 levels right here. My assumption was, if price action was not going to be able to break down these 2 levels and start to turn around, then we're going to have an interesting trading opportunity, this time on the upside, where price action is going to come back to where it came from. Because at the end of the day, if you think about it, it's been trading sideways, back and forth ever since middle of November, right? And we had, so far, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, and I like the 4th leg, which, you know, it's taking the previous lows right here, and now turning around. I think price action might start to construct the 5th leg back up to 31.08, right? 31.08 was our trigger back in the previous bearish campaign. Now it will become our profit target. But let's take a look at this from the weekly perspective, because you can see price action is kind of, looks like it broke 29.50 and 21.22 a couple of days ago, but quickly came back up to stay inside of that range. Let's take a look at the weekly chart. I think it's quite telling. This is the 29.50. You can see how price action is sitting right on top of it, right? It even, it even spiked it. It sent that spike to check whether that level is solid. And I think it found out that it is solid, because it pulled back and closed that weekly bar right on top of that 29.49 level. The actual close is 29.49, so that's quite interesting. Now, there is a lot of space still below, so price action might actually keep drilling downwards, which is why we didn't pull the trigger yet. What we want to have is not just one positive day. We want to have 2 positive days. That's our filter to jump into position, okay? It's not just enough for us to see that upside reversal starting to kick in, but we also want to have a second positive consecutive day that will convince us that price action is indeed turning around and gearing up for a new bullish move back to where it came from, right? So today, guys, we're going to be keeping our eyes closed on the silver. We want to make sure it closes the daily session today positively. Because if that's not going to be the case, we're going to have to waver. We're going to have to wait for it. and potentially not take it. Eventually, we might just look for opportunities somewhere else. But if the day's going to end up positively, we're going to be pulling the trigger and then waiting for price action to actually cross 30.10. Once it does that, that's where we get aggressive. That's where we drop the hammer and build up that position back to 31.08, potentially having 3 or 4 trades like we did before with that bearish campaign. All right, so that's the news. That's the latest data we have on the silver. Hope you enjoyed that one. I want to move on to the second section here of our video, which is Forex market portfolio breakdown. I want to break down our 3 positions that we have in the market. After terminating the silver, we have 3 positions left in the market. First one is the dollar Swiss franc. As you know, we've been chasing that upside move right from the get-go. As price action was starting to slide above, to cross above 88.22, that's where we fired off the first trade, which is already out. We already took profit on this one, took some profit off the table. But we kept building up that position. You can see we have 3 trades in. I like the way price action's behaving today, because the last couple of days, just before the weekend kicked in, price action was on the back foot. Nevertheless, it starts to recover, and we're almost ready to fire off one more trade. I'm pretty sure we're going to have the opportunity to squeeze in one more trade before we hit the target. Right? The target is 90.80. But I do want to have price action surpassing the highest trade that we already have existing here before we fire off the 4th and last trade. All right, so we're gonna be waiting for it. All right, if price action the minute it starts to cross above that highest trade that we have here, we're gonna be firing off the last trade. All right, so that's dollar Swiss franc closing in on target. Looks good, looks solid. We got our stop loss level still at 87.90, I believe it is. Yep, 87.90. But yeah, if pricing is going to end up today positively, close the day positively, which I'm pretty sure it will, then we will start to adjust our stop loss level further. We're going to tighten it up a little bit more. Second position is the pound versus the US dollar, which is also doing pretty well. Here, guys, we already surpassed the last trade, the lowest trade, right? Price action is trading below. So effectively speaking, we're ready to fire off the 4th trade, getting even more aggressive, keep inflating that short position that we have. We're just going to wait for the end of the day to make sure price action closed out negatively and below our lowest trade here, which is roughly around the level of 25.80. Right, so if everything goes well, price action is going to end up like it does look like right now, then that's going to be good enough for us to pull the trigger the 4th time and get more aggressive. All right, target is still quite far ahead as opposed to the dollar Swiss franc situation where it's right around the corner. Here it's the profit target, the official profit target is 123, so we're still away about 230 pip from the target. So we're going to stay here for a while. Looks like it. Last but not least is the Aussie, Australian dollar versus the New Zealand dollar. This one is quite interesting from a technical perspective. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Because we know we have a strong key level resistance at 110.43 right here. And it's a local one, but still a significant one. And we saw price action struggling to break through. Even, it started a couple of weeks ago. The first time it touched base. Last week, it was, breaking out for a while. But then just before the end of the week, it dropped back. And take a look, it closed right on top of that level. And it did the same today. Right off the bat, it started hammering upwards, right? Crossing over that the 1043 level. But now I can see it's doing the same it's, you know, the same what it did last week, which is pulling back down aggressively. I don't think it's really going to break out that 1043 level. I don't think that's the case. Which is why we're still here having that short position in place. Once it starts to slide below 110.43, closing the daily bar below that area, we'll know we're on the right track, and then we're going to get really aggressive, firing off more trades, increasing our position size, and so forth. Now, we got two targets we're working here with, right? The short-term target, which is 109.84, 109.84. We could get there in a couple of days, probably, you know. And then we have the more ambitious target, the long-term target, if you will, which is 107.94. Now, I don't want to talk about that level right now because it's, you know, a little bit too early for that. We're going to keep our eyes on the ball, which means 109.84. That's the next imminent target we're going to be working here with. And like I said, once price action slide below 110.44, we're going to fire off more trades. At 109.84, we're going to take some profit off the table, potentially between 50 to 75% of the position out. And then we're going to start focusing on 107.94. Alright, that's pretty much the game plan. Hope you enjoyed that video, guys. Wishing you a great trading day. We're going to be back tomorrow as usual, so till then, be well.